Welcome back, everybody, to the channel. Today, we're just going through December's Paragon Gauntlet. So, the team I'm taking in is Havoc, America Chavez, and Luke Cage. A few of these fights require prowess. That's kind of why I'm bringing in Havoc, and he's going to fill the gaps in some places. So, like, for example, here against Mantis. Now, the goal here with Mantis is the design of the fight is that they want her to use special ones as much as possible, in which case you have to avoid the sleep effect that she'll place, because so she'll gain 1 bar of power really quickly, but then the second bar of power takes for her to gain, and then she goes unblockable, which kind of forces you to stay open. So that's kind of the danger of this fight, is keeping her away from you if you can, without her throwing that special one. If you can push her to a special 2, fantastic, that's awesome. See here, it didn't really work out for me. Nonetheless, that's not a big deal. She's also got protection, in which case you just want to knock her down in order to remove that protection, and then you're free to do damage. By the way, the unblockable can either be on you or on her. If you're away from her when you use it, it's your unblockable. If you're close to her, she'll become unblockable. So it's also something to think about. But Havoc's just an absolute blast with the special 3 just hitting so hard. So that's a ton of fun to see, and then not having to worry too much about the sleep effects at this point. So there it is one more time, but I think we're gonna finish her off really quick here. But that's kind of the tricky part of this fight, is that they want to use the sleep on you, and you're trying to obviously keep that from happening. So you can use special attacks to avoid it. That's something to consider as well, just as that timer is about to come up. Throw a special attack if you have to keep yourself from falling asleep. Now for me, this Magneto fight was kind of the most annoying one. I mean, it just seemed like there's a lot of things that are unavoidable. So for example, every single time you or Magneto gain a buff, he's going to get cleanse passives, which are cleanse passives, so you can't really stun him or you can't use debuffs on him. And then when you knock Magneto down, those cleanse passives get consumed, and he gains an unstoppable based on however many cleanse passives he consumes. And then on top of that, every time he uses a special attack, you have to knock him down with a heavy attack within a certain, there's a timer, and otherwise you'll take automatic damage. So the goal of this fight is for you to work around the unstoppable effect that he gets, because you do not want him to go unstoppable and then throw a special attack immediately after, right? So you really want him to throw the special attacks first and then knock him down with a heavy attack. That way you can avoid the automatic damage and get the knockdown that you need. Also, he has high energy resistance in this fight, so if you use any types of energy damage, he just regains that health pretty much. So that's why I'm not using special 2s here with America Chavez. I'm just trying to either use special 1s or special 3s just to get his health down as quickly as I can. The reason I'm also using America Chavez is for the free knockdown, basically. It's a lot easier to be able to just stun him mid-combo and get a knockdown with a heavy. So that's where she comes in. Moving on now to Thing. This is actually why I brought Havoc. This fight is so much fun with Havoc. So Thing is really only going to take damage from special attacks while you have an active prowess effect that's either a buff or a passive. Now Havoc, when he gains his own plasma charges like that, you can actually use heavy attacks to convert a couple of those into prowess effects. And they're passive and they're permanent, so that's what makes it pretty darn nice. You also gain power based on Thing using special attacks, so just like so. Another part of this fight is trying to keep in balance his rock stacks. Anytime a champion, either champion blocks, they gain a bleed effect, just like that. And that way you can actually reduce his rock stacks. It's only every 3 seconds, so you got to kind of watch out for it and time it right, and then you should be totally fine. But if it works out really well for you and you use, right, so I'm converting my charges to prowess, but then you do want to get back to 10 charges if you can for this to work out the very best, and then probably choose a better relic, unlike I did. So I'm trying to get him to use one more special attack here, I think. And then we're going to go for it. If you do nail the little mini game there, you can one-shot him. So check this out. Oh, so close. See, I one-shot him a couple times in the actual event quest. So if you do get the perfect on that, this is a 7-star rank 2. I think I'm just Sig 20, but it does a ton of damage. That's why it's a ton of fun, at least this fight. It can be annoying just dealing with Thing, but you get yourself a champion with good prowess, it knocks him out pretty quick, right? So you could use Bishop, Storm, Pyramid X, normal Storm, any champion with prowess. Now the Hulkbuster fight is pretty odd. I feel like it was supposed to be more difficult because he's supposed to gain all these armor ups and you can't really nullify the armor ups off of him, and he gets stronger obviously based on how many armor ups he has. Fun fact about Hulkbuster, he actually also reduces ability accuracy based on how many armor ups he has, so once he gets enough armor ups on him, none of your abilities are really going to activate. That's something to consider. Every so often he also gains an unstoppable effect, but it only lasts 3 seconds. So I wouldn't concern yourself with countering the unstoppable. It's easily avoidable. You're rooted when he has special attacks, or when he uses his special attack, but not really a big deal. And so you can see, I mean, he's going down pretty quick. This is a 7-star rank 3 America Chavez, so obviously she does hit really hard, but this fight is definitely not the toughest one of the bunch. So that's kind of why I felt like I could use America Chavez just to kind of clear it up, and we finish it off pretty quick. So now we're getting into the final 2 fights. So moving on to Maestro. This was actually the reason for bringing America Chavez was for Maestro. You can also do this with Havoc or champions with prowess, as that's kind of what you need to do is, but the thing about it is you don't need to develop prowess yourself because the fight actually gives you prowess. So as you're doing this fight, you'll get prowess no matter what kind of champion you are. So your special attacks are going to hit pretty hard anyway. Plus America Chavez is really good for Maestro as she can knock him down easily, pausing the buff gain that he gets. So there's prowess already developing. He does have glance up though. And I kind of forget he's unstoppable there. So he gets unstoppable after his special attacks, but we can just heal back up. But I mean, look how hard those hit, right? So you get, the prowesses are not permanent. They get used up after each special. But I actually thought it was pretty fun to see Maestro in like a quest. We haven't seen Maestro since like some of the act bosses, in which case he was kind of a completely different champion. So it is a lot of fun to see him just in a quest like this. Also, the unstoppable is actually reduced based on how many prowess you have. So the fight actually gets easier as it goes on. And there's the finish for Maestro. And then the final fight is against the new champion, Isophine, an original Kabam character. But just like any Mystic champion, Luke Cage can quite easily shut down everything that she has to offer. There's a lot of power gain in this battle on both sides. And so I think it's so that she can obviously use as many specials as she wants to. Not super hard to dex though. Something I'm not certain of, I haven't noticed yet, but what I thought would make Isophine a really good defensive threat is because of the fractured power bar. Yeah, see right here she did it. So she had 2 bars of power, but chose to use a special one. So that could actually be something that's really dangerous in the future, is with champions that can do this. If they have a really dangerous special 1 or a dangerous special 2, and they opt to choose one when you're not ready, it could be a totally different ball game. So I find that really interesting. But Luke Cage takes care of her real nice and easy. So that's going to be it for the Paragon Gauntlet. Here's the rewards, and best of luck in the battle realm, my friends.